again, everyone. This is Hadasha the Shulamite coming to you with another story, another beautiful Bible story, the story of Ruth and Naomi, the most famous mother-in-law, sister-in-law story ever told, at least that I know of. Anyway, what happened was Naomi had two sons along with her husband, and they moved from Bethlehem, Judah, to the land of Moab. While they were there, Naomi lost her husband. And within that 10-year period, her two sons, they married women from the land of Moab, and they died. Her two sons died. So she lost her husband and her two sons. After a while, the Bible says they were there for 10 years. After the 10-year period, Naomi, I guess she decided, well, I have nothing here. I came here with my husband. He's gone. And my sons are gone. I'm better off going home to my family. You know, she's pretty sure she had cousins and what have you there. A land that she was familiar with. So, of course, she told her daughter-in-laws, look, Naomi and Orpha, this is what I'm going to do. And she told them, and the Bible said they lift up their voices and they cried and they cried, and I guess she cried too. And she said, it's best if you go home to your mother. You've been good wives, you've been a good daughter-in-laws, and I have nothing. What can I do for you? And they cried even more. She said, look, I still advise that you go home. I know you feel bad. I hate leaving you too. You know, I'm putting in my 2 cents how it may have went down. And I can't have any more children. And even if I did have sons, would you wait until they're grown? I think the best thing for you to do is to go home to your mothers. So Orpha, she left and she went home. So Naomi looked at Ruth. She said, Ruth, aren't you going? Your sister-in-law went back. Ruth said, don't even entreat me. In other words, don't encourage me. I am not leaving you. Period. Wherever you go, I will go. Where you live, I will live. Your people will be my people, and your God will be my God. Now, the Moabites, they were known for idol worshippers and things like that. And with Naomi, she came from the land of Judah, where they worship the Creator. And I'm assuming that this is what attracted Ruth to Naomi, that she would leave her own land, her own family, her own mom. I don't know if she had a mother. I guess she did. But she chose to follow Naomi. That must have been some strong pull, some kind of relationship that she would follow her mother-in-law instead of staying with her own people. So they went home to the land of Judah, and word got around, Naomi is back. So they called Naomi. She said, don't call me Naomi, call me Mara, because my life has been bitter. Mara means bitter. I lost my husband and my 2 sons. So while they were there, you know, they had to eat and whatnot. So Ruth decided to go and glean in the field of people who were harvesting corn and barley and things like that. Excuse me. Back in the day, that's what they did. They would go into the field of people who were harvesting, and the poor or strangers, or, you know, they were allowed to go in the field and pick up what was left over from the ground, as well as the trees, whatever was left on the tree. That was the way it was done. So she went and she gleaned, and while she was gleaning, owner of the field came by and he saw her, and he called his foreman. He said, who is that? Who is that damsel there? And he said, oh, that's Ruth. She's the daughter-in-law of Naomi. And I guess he gave him the full rundown of who she was and what she was doing and all that. So Boaz went to her and said, you know, they had a way they greeted each other. And I guess she bowed and said, you know, my name is Ruth, and I'm the daughter-in-law of Naomi. I'm a stranger in this town, and, you know, I'm just gleaning in the field and so on. So he said, you continue gleaning, as much as you can. You come here every day. Don't even go to another field. And I have told them not to bother you. I've told the young men not to touch you. And so she, of course, she thanked him and she continued gleaning. At the end of the day, she went home and he told her, go and go and eat and drink as much as you want, like everybody else who's employed by me. You go and you drink water, eat lunch and everything. So at the end of the day, she went home to her mother-in-law and she had all this stuff, and she was like, where did you go? And she told her the story. She said, I went to this field. The man's name is Boaz, and he was so kind to me. Do you know he offered me lunch? And he told the young man not to touch me, and I can have water anytime I'm thirsty, and to work right alongside his maidens. I didn't have to go at the edge of the field, I suppose, just work right between everybody else. And she said, Boaz, that is, oh my goodness. Naomi was so happy. She said, he's my kindred. He's my kindred, meaning the kin, meaning related to her husband's side of the family. And the custom was that one of his relatives, the son that died, was entitled to marry Ruth to keep up the lineage. That's how it was done. So the night of the threshing, however they did it, they had a celebration, a harvest celebration. And she told Ruth, she said, this is what you do. You give yourself a nice shower, a bath, anoint yourself with that nice fragrance oil, and you go back down there tonight. And you watch where he's gonna go at the end of the feasting and everything. You mark the spot. So Ruth said, I will do whatever you say to do, I will do it. So I guess she got dressed and she put on her best outfit and she went down there to the party. And of course she kept her eye on Mr. Boaz. And sure enough, I guess when everything died down, and we don't know what she did, maybe she stayed in a kind of a place where everybody didn't see her. And so when he was asleep, she went and she lay at his feet, like her mother-in-law told her. That was the custom. And she pulled his skirt over her feet. Skirt meaning it was, how they wore those robes. And so at midnight, he felt somebody at his feet, and I guess it scared him. And he said, who is that? And I guess she was probably startled too. She said, it's me, Ruth. And she, explained who she was. And he said, okay, it's all right. I don't know, she probably burst into tears. Maybe she too was kind of scared. And he said, it's okay, my daughter. You have showed more kindness to me than at the beginning. Instead of going with the younger men, you showed kindness to me by coming to me this way, because, he knew what it meant. I guess it was new to her. Maybe that was not the custom in Moab. But right away, he realized that this was the reason for her being there. So he said, okay, you're going to go home before it gets light. We don't want people to know that she was there. I don't want people to know anything until, everything was settled. So she went home and she told Naomi, and of course he said, hold your scarf, and he poured, I guess, as much as she could carry, barley or wheat or whatever it was. And she went back to her mother-in-law. And Naomi said, okay, you just relax. We got this, and God got this. And so, sure enough, Boaz called a meeting of the judges and the elders, and they called the man who was next in line to inherit the property that was Ruth's deceased husband's, because along with marrying her, there was some property. So they called the young man, and I guess Boaz was kind of smart. He didn't tell him about Ruth at first. He said, our brother, I think the brother's name was Mahlon, died, and this property, you have to redeem it. It goes to you. And the man said, yes, I will take it. He said, but hold up. Along with the property, there is his wife. You are going to have to marry her as well. So the man said, no, I can't marry her. So I guess I'm going to have to let the land go. So what happened was the elders and the judges, they were there as witnesses. And back in the days, to seal the deal, he would take off his shoe and give it to the man. And that was the way, it was like a stamp. They passed the shoe. And so that was settled. I guess Boaz thought, if I tell him about the wife at first, he might be like, well, let me go see what she looked like. And maybe if he had seen Ruth, because I'm thinking Ruth was fine. I think that sister was fine. So anyway, that's what happened. So Boaz, I guess he went to the house. I guess Miss Naomi was the first to greet him at the door and to hear the results of the whole situation. And then Ruth was told, and as the custom was, he married Ruth. She became his wife. And Ruth went from gleaning into the field to being the boss, so to speak. So what I'm going to say to mother-in-laws and daughter-in-laws, be kind, be nice to your mother-in-laws. Mother-in-laws, be nice, be kind to your daughter-in-laws. And for those women who may have lost their husbands, trust God. Trust God. Don't give up. God, the Bible says that thy maker is thy husband. So he will provide. And trust him. If he's going to give you a husband, he's going to give you a good husband. So trust God and you wait on him. Until next time, stay prayed up, stay blessed, love each other, and be kind to each other. Have a wonderful day.